everybody, it's Miss T from the Children's Library of the Plainfield Public Library. And today we're going to do a special STEM project or STEAM project. Today we're going to do Noodle Bots. And what you need for a Noodle Bot, you need a pool noodle, which is this guy right here. You need a pair of scissors, check. You need duct tape, like this. You can have markers, colored pencils, or crayons. We're going to use markers. Rubber bands, so we have some strong rubber bands here. And a battery operated toothbrush, just like this. And the battery goes under here. Now the thing of it is, you want to make sure that your toothbrush works. And under here there's a little lever. You can just make sure it'll pop up sometimes. Let me just make sure. But you know it's working when you hear that sound. It's buzzing. So that's the sound of a working toothbrush and a working battery. Now, we're going to make these bots in honor of pioneering video game innovator Gerald Anderson Lawson, aka Jerry Lawson. So, first we're going to double back. If you have your pool noodle, grab that in your scissors, and you're going to take your pool noodle, your toothbrush as well, and you just kind of measure it like that, and you want to cut just above your toothbrush so that the toothbrush will fit into your noodle. So take your scissors and you cut accordingly. You be very careful. Now this part, if you have or if you need assistance, ask your parents, older siblings, or guardian or caretaker, or a friend, because while we love science, we want you to be safe even more. So I'm going to put this over here because we actually have one already cut out. And once you cut out your pool noodle, it'll look like this right here. And so then you can decorate it however you want. So that's why we have the markers, or if you have stickers or anything like that, you could put that right on. Or if you want to design it your own way, feel free to do that. So I'm going to hand this off now to my niece, who does not want to be on camera, so she can make us a face. So I'm going to hand her everything. Hi, India. You go. All right, and there you go. And so while you work on that, while she works on that, I am now going to talk about who Jerry Lawson is, or Lawson. Excuse me. Gerald Anderson Lawson, aka Jerry Lawson. He was born in 1940 in New York City. Now, as a child, he knew that he wanted to be a scientist, and he kept a picture of another famous scientist on his desk for inspiration. I'm going to give you a guess who it is, and maybe you know him, and maybe some of you may know him, some of you may not. So I'm just going to give you a guess. Another African American scientist, Peanuts, was known as the Peanut Scientist. Sounds familiar? If you said George Washington Carver, absolutely correct. So, Jerry Lawson kept a picture of George Washington Carver on his desk to constantly remind him and to inspire him of his scientific goals. So, in the 1970s, he moved out to California and he took as an electrical engineer. So, and also while he was there, he joined a computer group, and it was called Homebrew Computer Club. And one of the members was then unknown Steve Jobs, who went on to found Apple Computers. So this was way before all of that, though. Now, Jerry Lawson, not only was he in the computer club, he was also over an engineering department called engineering department, and the company was called the Fairchild Semiconductor. There, he helped to produce the Fairchild console, and it was called Channel X. Channel F. Now, Channel F looked something like this. Now, for gamers who like gaming history, that console was one of the first of its kind for video arcade games into your home. See, back then, the only way you played video games was to leave your home and go to an arcade. Well, Jerry Lawson helped develop and create Channel F so that you could bring the video game experience into your home. And then that was cutting edge, right? So from that point on, so what happened, you could use that console, you could put in different cartridges, and that was for different games. And he also helped to inspire other companies to do the same. So if you ever played Atari or Xbox or PlayStation, Sega or Nintendo, it all began with Channel F, and Channel F was helped created by Jerry Lawson. So he stayed there for a while, and then at that time there were very few African American men or very few African American inventors in the video game industry. And at that time, video gaming was very, very young even then. So he became a go-to guy, and he through the years, he knew how to develop games, and he also, importantly, knew how to develop and inspire others as well to follow in his footsteps. So he even founded his own company, and that was called VideoSoft Inc. And that is known as the very first black-owned video game company. Once again, just like his inspiration or his mentor, George Washington Carver, he too in later years mentored and inspired others engineers to go into fields and to live their dreams, and to also grow the industry as well. Now, before his death, Jerry Lawson was honored by the International Game Development Association. And so to this day, he is known to many as the father of modern gaming. So once again, we have Jerry Lawson, and he said of himself, quote, "I'm one of the guys that when you tell me I can't do it, I turn around and do it." Right there. So I hope that inspired us as engineers. So we're going to play engineer right now. And thank you very much. So I'll take this. So my niece, who does not want to be on camera again, she gave our pool noodle a face. Hello. And in fact, oh, thank you. She gave two pool noodles a face. Hello. So we're going to now try this one out. Put in the toothbrush. I'll show you how that's done. In this one, the toothbrush is already there. And I'm just going to flip the switch. And we'll see if it moves. Now, you hear that sound? I'm going to put this down now and see if our pool noodle, what can our pool noodle do? Wow. Look at that. Our pool noodle is really going. And you can also move it around, of course. Look at that. Really easy. Doesn't take long. Now, I'm also going to try something else. We have our second pool noodle. Pool noodle number 1, our second pool noodle number 2. Now, if you have your rubber bands, and you can also use duct tape, so that's why we said duct tape. But I'm going to use the rubber bands, and now I'm going to add 2 markers to the mix. So if you have 2 markers, I'm just going to put one here. I'm going to first put on the band, just like that. And put 1 marker here, just like that, and 1 marker here. You know, I'm going to use a purple. Okay, just like that. Now, this one I'm going to show you how to pull in the toothbrush. So we have another toothbrush. And see this? I'm going to put this in upside down. Here's the face. And you want the toothbrush. And I turned it on by mistake. So let me turn it back on again. And now you want to push this all the way down. Not so far down that you see it, but just enough where you see the opening. Push that back up, just like that. And you, once again, you'll play around with it. You'll see as you do it. Now, I'm going to take a piece of paper right here, and let's see what happens. So we have our rubber bands, 2 pens right here, markers. Gonna stand up the pool noodle, our pool noodle bot, and we're gonna see what it does. Oh wow. And put this down a little bit. Well, hello artists. I hope you can see that. How our pool noodle is now becoming an artist. So you can have your pool noodle walk around, or you want your pool noodle to become an artist, there you have it. So play around with it. Thank you so much, pool noodle. I'm going to turn this off now. And see, our pool noodle has become an artist. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by again and doing another STEAM project with us. Thank you to our 2 Noodle Bots. Thank you, niece, for making our 2 Noodle Bots. And once again, I'm going to leave you with the words of the man that we did our Noodle Bots in honor of, Mr. Jerry, well, full name Gerald Anderson Lawson, aka Jerry Lawson, father of modern gaming. His words, I'm one of the guys that when you tell me, I turn around and do it. So whatever you want to do, Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Use that inspiration and go for it. Thanks so much. Till we meet again, so long for now.